All right, so in this episode, we're going to go over the most important lesson that we can ever have about owning a dog. And that all comes down to leadership. So leadership is so important. 99% of my clients have the same issue, and that is they get a dog to, number one, fulfill their need in wanting to have a dog so they can give love to that dog, so they can have a best friend, so they can play with that dog. One of the main reasons why all of us get dogs, we get dogs because we love the animal and we want to have that true best friend, that man's best friend. But the problem is a lot of us, we actually put human psychology onto a dog opposed to dog psychology. And once we do that, guys, we fall into all sorts of trouble. We end up basically getting a dog that's very unbalanced, has a lot of anxiety, can be too excited, can have aggression, okay? And when this happens, that's when normally we need to get a professional in to help us because we've created this chaos. I'm a really firm believer, guys, that, dogs aren't born aggressive. They're not born cheeky. It's us as humans, unfortunately, we don't understand their needs. So then what happens is they end up basically running amok because of the lack of leadership. So this is a really good video for new dog owners, for a dog owner that's had a dog for years and just has a few little things that they want to work on with their dog, and there might be a few things that their dog struggles with. If we implement what we're going to learn today, 99% of your problems will go away. All right? So the first most important thing that we need to do as the leaders of our pack is we need to create exercise and provide exercise for our dogs on a regular basis. So when it comes to dog behavior and dog psychology, we always go back to the ancestors. We always go back to the wild dogs, where all dogs originated from, wolves, okay? You look at a pack of wolves, a pack of dogs, okay? There's always a leader, and that leader always leads the pack on exercise. So they will go on journeys for kilometers and kilometers looking for prey. And then when they find prey, it will take time for them to catch it. It might take an hour, 2 hours, depending on how tricky it is to catch that prey, okay? So one meal can take them a day, 2, 3 days even, depending on how accessible the prey is. And in that time, they are running and exercising and searching. We bring it back to our dogs. What do we do for our dogs? We get their meal, we put it in a bowl, and we give it to them like Federal Express, bang, and they get stuck into it. And you know what? That's the way everyone feeds their dogs. But we're not fulfilling their instinct, and that is to actually search for the food. So what does food and exercise have to do with each other? Well, when do people normally feed their dog their first meal? In the morning. When do people try to take their dogs for a walk? In the morning. So what should we do when it comes to exercise? Do we feed the dog first, or do we exercise the dog? What do you guys think? Have a think about it. We want to always exercise our dog first, because to create and fulfill that instinct, the dog goes and searches for the food. So we go for a nice 1 hour, half an hour, 45-minute walk or bicycle ride or rollerblade with our dog. We come back home. They should have at least half an hour break after their exercise. Then they get their food. By doing that, we're fulfilling that desire and that instinct in our dog that they have in their DNA from thousands of years. Your dog will feel a lot more fulfilled by doing that. Now, 99% of behavioral problems can be solved by exercise. A lot of the time why dogs act out in destructive behavior, digging, chewing, jumping, even aggression, okay? Wanting to attack other dogs, wanting to attack people. This can all be from pent up energy. And when there's too much energy in the dog, they don't know what to do with it, so they release. But by draining that dog, draining their energy, we can become, the dog can become, a a lot more balanced and a lot more chill. And all those behaviors can be solved by having a dog that is tired. People don't say for nothing, a tired dog is a happy dog. So if I'm going out to train a dog and they've got issues with aggression, I want to drain their energy first. Get on the bike, get them on the lead, and just ride with them and let them run, okay? We want to drain it so that when then we stop and we get another dog in the picture, if it's dog aggression, their mind is already less stimulated and we can start working. But if I bring that dog in a situation where it's not tired, where it hasn't been exercised, and give it to it and let it meet another dog, there's going to be a fight, because the anxiety, the frustration is at like a 9 out of 10. But when you exercise it, it drops to like a 5 or a 4, and the brain can actually think a lot better. So depending what breed you've got, depends on how long the exercise needs to be. Okay, the more active dog breed, it needs to be longer and it needs to be more intense. So a 1 hour walk might not be enough in the morning. That's where you might need to get your bike and only take it for a 30-minute or 40-minute jog, and that will do a lot more than a 1 hour walk. And then maybe take your dog for a 1 hour walk in the evening, because it is still good for you to actually walk your dog, because it strengthens your bond and you get to teach it different skills during the walk as well for the dog to follow you. So exercise, very important. Discipline. Discipline is number 2. This is another way that our dogs instinctually used to live and still do. If you get a pack of dogs on the streets, there will be discipline around there. There's always a hierarchy or a pecking order with dogs. I find it so interesting how people say, oh, nah, don't be dominant. There's no such thing as dominance in dogs. That's not true. All animals have a pecking order. I've got goats and chickens, and you can bet your life on it that there's top goat, and then there's a lower ranking goat and a lower ranking goat to the very lowest ranking, most submissive goat. And the same thing happens with chickens. There's a pecking order. Dogs are the same. There's an alpha or a pack leader, and then they all drop down to the most submissive dog in that pack. Now the pack leader has to discipline the pack when they do something wrong. And the pack leader normally does that by nipping, by using their body, by using their energy to be able to correct that dog. So we need to, and the pack leader also creates rules and boundaries and limitations. This is where these points come into play as well. We need to make sure that we display confident and calm energy when disciplining our dog, but just in general with dogs. Every pack leader is always calm and assertive. So we need to have that calm and assertive energy with our dog. If we have excitable energy, if we have too much of a loving and a weaker type of energy, our dogs will dominate that. The second important thing is rules. All right, guys, we need to have rules. All right, your puppy, when it was born, the mum provided rules for those pups. They weren't allowed to go too far, right? They weren't allowed to play too rough with their brothers and sisters. And if they did, they would get nipped or they would get submitted down, and the body language of the mum or the pack leader would say, and the energy would say, snap out of it. Very rarely will you see dogs barking and grunting at each other to communicate. They communicate by using energy and body language. So we need to make sure we got rules. Those rules can be no jumping up on the couch unless I invite you. No jumping up on me or any of our guests. You're not allowed to pull on the walk. You're not allowed to dig. You're not allowed to just have a massive roam to the house. You've got to stay on your spot when you're inside unless I tell you to get off that spot. This might sound harsh, but the problem is, guys, when we let our dogs do whatever they want, we're not fulfilling their instinct, and your dog will not be as happy. And they definitely will not view you as a leader. Therefore, there won't be any harmony in the pack. You have to be the leader, like we mentioned before, it's only natural, and then they have to fall behind. Otherwise, if they're the leader and you fall behind, they're going to run the show. So make rules. Make sure you're disciplined and you're always calm and assertive, never angry, never frustrated. when you're disciplining your dog or when you're making rules in the house. You might say, how do I discipline a dog? The best way to discipline it is by your energy and your body language. So first of all, staying calm and confident and making sure there's a consequence for the behavior. So if your dog is not allowed to jump up on the couch, you get them by the collar, you pull them down and you block them from the couch. You do not let them go up on there. You don't just let them get away with it. If your dog has to stay on the mat while you're inside, if they get off that mat, what are you going to do? You've guessed it. You put them back on the mat. And eventually they will understand that there's a consequence to each behavior. There are only a few little examples. We can't get into all of them in how to discipline your dog, but these are a few ways to learn how your dog has rules. The last one is the most important one to all of us. It's affection. We all love showing affection to our animals. And the best way you can show your dog affection is by actually fulfilling these first two things: exercise and discipline. You want to show your dog you love him? Take him for a walk every day. It's so important. There's nothing that they will enjoy more than a walk. You might think that they love cuddling with you. Of course they do. But that's more important to you than them. They want to go out there. They want to roam. They want to search. They want to have a balanced family like everyone. So therefore, by them wanting a balanced family, they want you to step up and be the leader. So that is the best ways you can show affection to your dogs, by exercising them and creating rules and disciplining them. And then of course, the way we all show affection, by giving them kisses, hugs, good food, shelter, toys, play dates, whatever you want to do with your dog. But try to make sure that your dog doesn't get anything for free. You want to cuddle with your dog? Ask him to do something first. Sit, drop, then we start patting, okay? Never give affection to your dog when they're in the wrong state of mind. Then we are rewarding that state of mind. So if they're angry, aggressive, fearful, I see a lot of my clients patting their dogs to calm them down. If you do that, your dog's going to think, okay, that's what my owner wants me to do. They want me to attack. They want me to be fearful. They want me to be insecure and anxious. So this is really, really important. Make sure that you give your dog affection at the right time. So, coming back to this, we spoke about energy, body language, and rules. If we master this, guys, so calm and confident energy, type of body language, shoulders back, head up, we want to be confident around our dogs, and they have rules, our dog will be very happy, and that's how we show them affection. So guys, this is a little bit of a compact video with a lot of information. Rewatch it as many times as you need to. But just remember, if you want your dog to be happy, exercise, discipline, affection in that particular order with the right body language and energy, and you will have a beautiful life with your dog. I hope you've got a lot out of this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments with any questions and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. I'm Mikey, the Blind Dog Whisperer, and I'll see you in the next video.